So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about why imperfect people try to create a perfect relationship. And a lot of people are single because they think that relationships are meant to be perfect, or they have this perfect image, but really it's two imperfect people trying to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? The reason that your relationship didn't work before is because you were so focused on trying to make sure that you were perfect for the other person. Therefore, whenever you fell short and you were imperfect, the other person was like, man, I just thought that you were all this and that. I thought you was going to do this and that, and you was going to provide this and that. And then you fell short and now you're imperfect, and now they're like, I don't really like that. Whenever people get into relationships, they're so focused on the fairy tale part of it, where they see in the movies how people are always laughing, and you got this best friend, and you got love, and you got trips, and you got money, and you got family, and you got all these things. But whenever things fall short, all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I can actually, stay in this for long. What I'm about to say is probably going to hurt a lot of people, but people end up actually messing up their own relationships. The reason being is because you are already putting on a facade from the dating stage. As soon as you get into the dating stage, you're trying to put on the best facade. You're like, man, I'm a really clean person. Let me tidy up my spot because this person's coming over. Let me clean my car because this person's coming over. Let me show them that I got this and this and this. Let me talk this certain way. Let me take them out to these places to show them that I got money or that I can do this and that. Let's go travel so that I can show them that I'm a very fun, adventurous person. You're doing all these things to impress. But whenever you say, okay, well, we're in a relationship. What about when you're living together? What about when you're talking on a consistent basis? What about when you guys are spending a lot more time together and she sees that, you're not who you said you were, or he's not who you thought he was, What does that really look like whenever you're sitting there and you're putting yourself in a position where you're like, man, maybe he's not so perfect like I thought he was, or maybe she's not everything I thought she was going to be, and being able to cater to me in the ways that she was before, and saying that she, saying all these sweet things and telling me these sweet promises that we was going to do, and now we're actually in the midst of it, and things are tough. I don't know if I can really be a part of this false advertisement, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave. Instead of working through it, you're looking for this perfect relationship. Instead of actually trying to overcome any adversity that you're having, you're like, this is too hard, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? People find themselves always trying to accommodate for the other person instead of them trying to be their authentic self. And what that ends up doing is that it puts the relationship at jeopardy, because then you're like, okay, well, maybe if I do these certain things, this quality of woman will actually really like me. Or for the ladies, it's like, maybe if I cater to him more, then maybe he'll actually want to invest into me more. He'll pay for more blank, blank, blank. Or maybe he'll take me out more. Maybe instead of us just doing this and this, he'll be more willing to do this and that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to be very, very careful, because people are always putting on their best impression. People look at least the way that I kind of look at dating sometimes is that people look at it as a job application. You know what I'm saying? On your job resume, you go into the interview, they're like, yeah, so why do you want to work here? You're saying, well, I'm a really good person. I'm a hard worker. I'm a person that's going to show up on time. I'm going to get the work done. And it's like, you're putting on this facade. And then whenever you get the job, you're like, man, I'm a little bit late. Oh man, I don't know how to do this job. I don't really know, I don't know how to ask the right questions. I can't really get these sales that you guys expect me to do. And it's like, whenever you kind of get into the midst of it, you're not able to show up to your best self. And the thing is that the problem isn't in the relationship. The problem is within the brokenness of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're using this other person to accommodate for the brokenness that's in yourself, so you don't feel lonely, so you feel like you're accepted, so you feel validated, so you feel like you're enough, so you feel appreciated, right? You're looking for the brokenness in someone else, and when they don't give that to you, suddenly they're not good enough for you. So now you look for someone else. Okay, well, this person, they make me feel special. They took me out. They did this for this. They bought me this. They told me this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm enough for them. Boom. That relationship doesn't work out. What is the problem? The problem is that you're looking for the resolution in other people instead of finding it in God and figuring out why you are feeling broken. That's what's hindering you from actually finding your person. Because you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what does it really look like for me to find someone that's perfect for me? There's no perfect person for you. The reason I said that is because you can have people that you interact with and that you work very well with. You have best friends. You have a lot of same hobbies. You have a lot of similar, thought processes, but that doesn't mean they're your person. That doesn't mean they're the perfect person for you. That just means that you guys have a lot in common. That just means that you guys can probably work well together. That means that you guys can probably have tough conversations and understand that it's coming from a place of care. That doesn't mean they're perfect for you, but you understand, okay, we're both broken people trying to make a whole situation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're trying to make it the best that we can. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people end up falling short. And it's like, you have to understand that with your brokenness and with you trying to look for these certain expectations from and other people and literally putting up a false persona is going to make it very hard for people to just fully accept who you are. Understand why you feel broken, where that's coming from, where that's really stemming from. Fix it. Understand how to fix it. And then whenever you're searching for your person, you can come more whole and have more to give without expectation. You can also come as your authentic self without having to worry about, is this person going to accept me for who I am? Do I feel like I need to put up all this persona? You know what I'm saying? It makes it very hard for them to love you when you can't even be you. And there's so many things within that in itself, but I'm not going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you walk into it and you have these expectations and you're willing to accommodate them for the person so that you feel accepted. Whenever I think about that, I think about how one person will be like, I really want to grow up and I want to raise my family in the city. Other person is like, man, I just want a bunch of land. I want some cattle. I want a big house separated from everybody. The way to accommodate for that? It's a very good question. I don't know. That depends on you and your relationship. But one person is going to be like, well, you know what, baby? It's whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be far away from everybody, you want cattle, you want that farm life, we can do that. You have the other person that's like, I don't know. Because they understand what they want and they're willing to stand in that. You know what I'm saying? You're not willing to just accommodate so you feel accepted and that you feel like you'll be enough for somebody. Instead, it's like, well, you know, that's a conversation that we'll have then, but I really am set on living in the city. And if that's a deal breaker, then that's a deal breaker. But they understand what they want and they're willing to stand on it. Are you willing to stand on it though? Are you able to put yourself in a position where you're like, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what it's going to be. Of course, within reason. I don't, you know, some females will be out here having some crazy expectations, like if my man isn't making $100,000 a year, or, you know, some people got some wild expectations, but when you find the good ones, you don't really require much. They're looking for who you are, not what you have. You know what I'm saying? And it just takes a lot. You know, it just takes a lot that you're trying to understand and work on in yourself. But that's why a lot of relationships don't work. They're looking at this fairy tale of the movies and how much they're in love. And granted, in the movies they show, okay, look, you're going to have these moments. You're overcoming something in this relationship. But at the end of it, you understand that it's not going to be perfect and that you will have to work through it. So that's where you have to step up, understand, okay, this is what I need to work on. This is where, you know, I need to improve on. And understand and appreciate the other person for even showing you that and calling you out on it. That means that they do care. You know what I'm saying? Within reason. Because some people, they don't know how to address situations, and it's like, is that supposed to be what love feels like? Is that supposed to be what, you know, being cared for feels like? And that's not exactly what I'm saying either. You just got to understand what's really working for you. Simple like that. So for your next relationship, I challenge you, don't focus on how perfect it can be. Work on the healing within yourself and don't bring the brokenness into the relationship. And continue to not walk into it with expectations that are going to fluctuate as the relationship goes so you feel accepted. 3 simple tips, y'all. 3 simple tips. So that's really all I got for you on this video. I just really wanted to give you guys an insight of why I think a lot of relationships don't work when you're in them. And if I'm wrong or if I miss anything, let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear what y'all got to say. But that being said, y'all like the video, share this video with that person that's in a relationship and it's probably not really looking too good, because they probably need to hear this so that they can be able to get out and find that person for real. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. That being said though, I'm out. Catch y'all later.